Hello, race fans. Welcome back to the NASCAR Vernors Cup Series. Last time out, we were at Talladega. Geddy Lee won that action-packed race. And Harrison Ford took over the points lead from Bob Ross. Geddy Lee moves into third place within a race. This time out, we are at Rockingham for the Pet Rock 400. The inside line is the key here, so if you're starting on the outside, you better hope you can get to the inside quickly. Otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. Without further ado, however, let's take you through the starting lineup for today's race. Joe Biden on the front row looking for his fifth win, alongside Ian Anderson picking up his first pole of the year. Then Harrison Ford, your new points leader, will start next to Casper the Friendly Ghost. Tom Hanks is in the third row along with Hank Hill. The Hank row, I guess. Mark Martin start next to Tony Stark in row number 4. Then Brendan Gaughan will line up next to Kathy Bates. Gaughan just announced this weekend that he's merging his team into Logan Cloud Motorsports and will be switching to Dodge come next season. Speaking of Dodge, a pair of Dodges here. Peter Perfect, second in points, and Burt Reynolds. Morgan Freeman will line up next to Telly Savalas, who's been having not a great year. Jeff Lynne is going to be next to Crow. Defending track winner, Denzel Washington. He won back here in the spring. He's starting next to Marty McFly. Then Woody Woodpecker and Alfred Hitchcock. Two iconic numbers. They reflect Tom Jones and George Lazenby and David Land in the next row. Billy Mays is going to line up next to Al Capone, just like how Ferris Bueller is going to line up next to Walter White. Then it'll be Ann Wilson and Donald Fagen. Getting towards the back, there's Marco Polo in the Subway colors. Very interesting look this week, as he starts next to Sir Topham Hatt. John Cena is going to be next to Iggy Koopa. Then Al Roker is going to be next to Richard Simmons, defending series champion. Geddy Lee starting on the outside of Bob Ross. Then Snoop Dogg and Stephen George. Rounding out the field, Stephen Hawking and Woody Harrelson. So, now that that's taken care of, what else is there to talk about? Who's all in this field that has won here? I believe Mark Martin got his first win at Rockingham here in like 1989. George Lazenby got his first win here last year. Billy Mays got his first win here in last year's running of this exact race. Then Denzel Washington, he'd already had won before. So that's how it shakes out. Will we have another first time winner or not? And how will points shake out? Tom Hanks actually missed the race, and he is 6th in points. So there's that.
Drivers, start your engines.
Man, he really couldn't have been more enthusiastic at all. That's interesting. And Pace Car just decides to total itself. That's nice. Sorry for seizure mode. We're looking good. We're looking clean and green so far for the start here. Ian Anderson has only gotten one top 10 since his win. That was a top 5, though. I can't remember where. Well, he'll lead him down. His teammates have all been doing better. Not terribly better, mind you. That being said, green flag is out. What are you doing, pace car? Race is underway. Ian Anderson leading. He's going to be caught up napping. Here comes Harrison Ford trying to get to the race lead on the first lap. Anderson walked it up the track. That's going to allow Harrison Ford to lead the first lap. Anderson out of the lead before he can even capitalize on his pole and get bonus laps. Joe Biden running the third line. That's not going to work. Contact a little bit between Peter Perfect and Mark Martin, it looked like. Gaggle of cars first. As Ian Anderson is going to get the lead back on the second lap. Wow. Harrison Ford trying to power through on the outside. Looked like it was going to work for a second. But it did not. Outside looks like you can you can run the outside in 1 and 2 at least. In 3 and 4, you know, the inside is king here. Mark Martin, well, he could have gotten in the line, but did not. Bob Ross trying to work his way through traffic. He's done that pretty well, but now here comes Stephen Hawking. Donald Fagen runs last. Richard Simmons right in front of him. Your two drivers battling it out for the championship. There's Woody Harrelson. He started last. Whoa, Harrison Ford has fallen back. After only 5 laps, he's almost about to fall out of the top 10. Now Hank Hill moves up to challenge. Hank Hill, has he ever won? He is not. Neither is Casper the Friendly Ghost. Everybody else in the top 10. Al Capone would be the next driver in line. Tom Hanks is up here. He's trying to score revenge from last year, when he led the most laps but got passed on the last lap by George Lazenby for the win. Similar situation would happen at Texas. Lazenby was at least on the pole for Rockingham, but Hanks was on pole at Texas and then just got passed late in the race by Lazenby. Kathy Bates has not gone in the victory lane since, I believe, the first Michigan race of last season. No, that's a lie, because she's won sometime this year. Where at I have... Oh, no, actually Gateway. Ellie Savalas, he hasn't won since Martinsville last year, or Charlotte. I think Martinsville was the one that came later. Peter Perfect, he's always been great in points. But he's only gotten that one win at Martinsville last year, the first race. As Hank Hill has indeed taken the lead away from Ian Anderson. Hill to the point. Very eager to see what some of these guys can muster. As now, no, Hank Hill, did he even lead that lap? Probably. Yes, he did. But Casper's your new leader. Harrison Ford's cracked the top 10 again, I believe. There's Bob Ross. He's about to crack the top 20 if he can get by Sir Topham Hat. Looks like Geddy Lee will fall out of the points discussion just as soon as he entered right back into it. So we've seen quite a few lead changes already. Ford. No, Ford didn't count. Anderson counted as one. So we've seen 3. There'd be 4 if the first lap counted. Alas, it does not. Casper the Friendly Ghost, the only driver to breach the 25-second mark. Hank Hill coming very close, though. Meanwhile, Marty McFly couldn't even... He's almost a full... He's 9/10. His fastest lap is still 9/10 slower. One of 2 drivers not even to break 25.6, the other being Marco Polo. You can see all the rookies coagulate towards the back, it seems. There's 4, there's 5, there's 6, there's 7, there's 8, there's 9, and then 10th. Ian Anderson in 5th. Tom Hanks looked like he wanted to have a go at Hank Hill there. Kathy Bates trying to hold off Ian Anderson. Now, judging by yesterday's race, that was a 2-stopper, almost a 3-stop. I'm thinking, since it's, thinking 3 laps is 3 stops. But they came down right around lap 30, I thought. So if you can stretch it to 33, you should be good to go. Speaking of stretching, that's exactly what Casper's doing to his lead, is stretching it. Almost to a whole second. As the field gets a little bit more strung out, top 4, I guess, it's hard to tell. You can see these cars really slow down. This is definitely a tire eating track. Geddy Lee trying to almost moving the 99 out, the 43 out of the way. Now, several of these drivers, it's unsure what these plans. Casper the Friendly Ghost, he is moving manufacturers again. But he's moving teams this time. He's going to the Toyota, the Red Bull. Red Bull is coming back full-time, and they want Casper, they're going to get him as their driver. Meanwhile, Hank Hill, he's moving from the 25 to the 38 that Stephen George is driving. He hasn't gotten a win in 2 seasons with this team. Although he's looking for one today. That dive actually did not work. Casper was actually able to hold him off, which is very impressive. Went for our 4th lead change of the day, but it did not happen. He'll be moving to the... Hanks is staying put. Bates staying... All these drivers are staying put. Lazenby, it's rumored he might just be retiring. He did get that win, though. And that team might drop down. Ann Wilson, it looks like she's going to be going back to the Melling series. There is no word on who's going to replace him, though. Rover Cleveland might be coming back up. Stephen King is another person who has been theorized. There's Tom Jones, John Cena, Sir Topham Hatt, he's moving down. Gone. Well, we just talked about him. Tony Stark's going to part-time. Al Roker seems likely he's gonna be remaining here. He's just changing numbers again. Probably unless Mark Martin decides not to run next year. Al Roker's likely going to be in the 16 as Marco Polo is leaving to go, I forget where. As pit stops are happening already. Oh, there's a big knot of cars. Crow is the first one down. So it's possible it's a slightly unscheduled stop. However, it didn't seem like he took forever. Mark Martin. Yeah, it's Al Roker would be probably moving to 16. Marco Polo's leaving. I'll give them more detail when we get to Marco Polo. The only other way is if Mark decides not to... Well, never mind, actually. Because what happened is Carl Edwards was going to be the guy come in and fill in. But Carl is signed with Logan Cloud Motorsports. So that deal is, yeah, disregard that. Billy Mays is going to change numbers back to 36. They're staying. Walter White might be going to part-time, might be staying full-time because he did just win a couple weeks ago. Ferris Bueller along with Marty McFly are going down. I think Simmons. I think Fleck might be switching to... Might become Warwick Davis Racing once again. Be switching to 22. Iggy Koopa, he's going to be headed to the 42. Fagan. Marco Polo, where's he going again? He's going to the 11. Denzel Washington, he's going to the 25, actually. He's replacing Hank Hill. Stephen George is moving to the Renault. It's going down. Hawking's going down. Woody Harrelson's moving to the 32. Anyway, lap 33. We're at the third of the way mark at the line. So it seems likely it'll be a two-stop race. Now, people coming down right at lap 33. So unless they're idiots and they pit afterwards, they'll be fine. Like if they're idiots and they do 33, and then on the last lap they pit coming to the checkers. Probably, of course, if a caution comes out, that could shake things up. And now everybody who pretty much didn't come down this time by is gonna... Oh, Tom Jones is gonna stay out. That's your fourth lead change. There's Hank Hill off. Peter Perfect. Casper slots into his stuff. No! Tom Jones actually didn't lead. No, and John Cena leads. Oh! There's usually some problems. Oh, there we go. There's the contact on pit road we were all expecting. Crow, of course, gaming the system, as you remember. He was the first one to come down. But we know he'll have to come down 2 more times. He's going to be stuck in lap traffic. So he did an undercut of around 10 laps. So you're like your 5th lead change. Casper Crow is the leader. Second place at the moment is actually Hank Hill. Brendan Gaughan, terrible pit stop. He's down the last. Because of course. Casper third. So that was your 5th lead change of the race. Tom Hanks is 4th. Peter Perfect is 5th. Telly Savalas, Joe Biden, Kathy Bates, Jeff Lynne, and Al Capone. Harrison Ford is 12th. Bob Ross up to 15th. Geddy Lee's 31st. 38 cars on the lead lap. Oh, somebody. What happened to Stephen Hawking? Weird. And there's big problems. What's going to be your 6th lead change of the race? Crow loses the lead. Getting held up by lap traffic. Hank Hill is your leader now. So, of course, Crow has got older tires. Here comes Casper trying to get to the front. Lapped car of Brendan Gaughan is a pick. There's Woody Harrelson. Geddy Lee's back in 31st. Meanwhile, Bob Ross reeling in Ann Wilson. As Looks like Tom Hanks is going to grab third here. Before all this, before even being in last, he was running 13th. So that is about his benchmark. So he's down to fourth, but there's a big gap between him and Peter Perfect. Well, it's shrinking because tires. Now Brendan Gaughan gonna get his lap back. That leaves David Land and Stephen Hawking as the only lapped drivers. That's Marco Polo. Donald Fagen, he's out of the drivers who raced last year in the series. Donald Fagen's the worst because Brendan Gaughan didn't race last because there was only 42. There were no part-time entries. He last raced the plate races in 2017, and the rest are rookies who are all making series debuts. So there's that. So what, 6 lead changes this race? That sounds about right. We're closing in on halfway. David Land, he's looking to get his lap back. And if he does so, look who's right there to take the lead. And now Crow is getting passed by drivers with much fresher tires. As Bob Ross has made the move for 14th position. Can he catch back up to Harrison Ford is the question. Well, Crow keeps falling. They'll move him up where finishing 2 positions behind actually loses you more points. I mean, not quite yet. Here's Mark Martin. As he's going to let his teammate get by. And there you see it. Going for the 7th lead change this race. Actually, look at this. It's a 3-way battle as David Land's back on the lead lap. Now, 12 drivers have broken that elusive 25-second mark. Hank Hill, not one of those. Neither is Tom Hanks. Fastest car. Bob Ross actually has the fastest lap. Ross is not going to go quietly in this championship hunt. And Geddy Lee is going to fall even more spots. Now Harrison Ford's up to 9th. As Bob Ross is up to 13th. Which is a gain for Harrison Ford of about 14 points. Casper has faded a slight bit. It's looking like a slugfest between Hank Hill and Tom Hanks. Crow worse off than when he pitted, so short pit was good enough to get him to the lead, but in the long run, it's not worked out. He short pitted too early. As that's John Cena who's gonna sneak by him. There goes Bob Ross in the 12th. Now Hank Hill starts to drive away. As there was a battle between Tom Hanks and Casper the Friendly Ghost for second. Casper had a couple of looks, but wasn't able to make anything of those looks. Bad luck, yes. That's just crazy. Next round of pit stop should be coming up in around 10 laps or so. These guys really starting to slow down. Stephen Hawking 2 laps down still. So about 2.5 on track. Probably a little more. Yeah, a little more. More like 2 3/4. See Peter Perfect running 4th. Casper the Friend, not Cap, that's Bob Ross. He's going to try and take a look for 11th on Tom Jones. Looks like the grip went away for Bob Ross that corner a bit. Now here comes George Lazenby. He's going to push Bob Ross right up the track. Oh, that is not good. Unless Bob Ross can get the run and keep the spot, which he will. Harrison Ford looking aggressive right here, trying to get around the 44. We did miss it. Tom Hanks to the lead. As Crow comes back down for his early stop. Where was he this last time by? Not that it's going to matter. He was about 20th. But he's going to interfere with this battle. It should be very interesting to watch. That was the pace car. Billy Mays dropped out of the race with header issue all of a sudden. Did he really? Yes, he started smoking. Justin 22nd, he just... I thought I saw something. Yeah. It was like 41 and 40. That was odd. Anyway, point is, Crow is driven back around, so now he's only a lap down. Tom Hanks is your leader, though. Second is Casper. Third is Hank Hill. Peter Perfect is also right there in 4th. Kathy Bates in 5th. That's how they run at the moment. See, nobody down pit road yet. I wasn't expecting him to be down yet. Tom Hanks has won twice this year and twice last year. He's looking for his 5th career win. We got takers before lap 66. Including Hank Hill. Oh, this should be very interesting. They're trying to short pit, I guess. Or you can see Bob Ross. At the moment, only has Telly Savalas between him and Harrison Ford. And he motions to pit. Tom Hanks continues to lead. As Casper the Friendly Ghost, look, Tony Stark blows a motor. Was this just coming off of pit road? Yes. Oh, Donald Fagen. Wow. Tom Hanks trying to pull off an overcut. Let's just look at Bob Ross for a second. There goes. Oh, Bob Ross is gonna get by Harrison Ford. There goes Harrison Ford by. I mean, there goes Hanks down pit road. Who's your? Is it? He just led this entire cycle, didn't he? He did. Tom Hanks led the entire cycle. Incredible. Here's Casper. Here's where Casper was. Walter White, where did he come from? Oh, Tom Hanks is definitely gonna get. I think Kathy Bates just grabbed the lead. Yeah. Crow once again up towards the front momentarily. Kathy Bates, your new race leader. What had happened to Tom Hanks? Oh, he is still on track. Kathy Bates, her fastest lap of the race. She's gonna get held up by the lapped car, or about to be lapped, of Walter White. Interesting. There goes Stephen Hawking off pit road. Tony Stark is also out of this race. Second place is going to be Hank Hill. Third is Crow at the moment. Fourth, Peter Perfect. Battle for fifth between Joe Biden and Casper the Friendly Ghost, as there's problems with Al Roker's car. Seventh, Jeff Lynne. Eighth, Mark Martin. Ninth, Sir Topham Hatt. 10th, Tom Hanks. And Harrison Ford somehow has gotten around Bob Ross, with Morgan Freeman and Tom Jones separating the two at the moment. Where's Geddy Lee at? He's up to 26th. Kathy Bates is not won in only 13 races, so that's not too bad. She's looking for her third win. Hank Hill is charging. Hank Hill wants to win. And Hank Hill's is not getting helped by his teammate. What happened to the 17? Did I just skip him, or is he still on pit road? He is out. He's 40th. He's 5 laps now. Gone. Where did Gone go? He's up to 33rd. So now, will there be people who cannot make it to the end is the question here. How are these lap car is gonna fare. This car's really getting spread out. Two lap cars in between first and second place, and they're gonna go side by side. All cars go side by side, or at least try to go side by side. They might actually be catching. Jeez. What is this race even? So, this is a thing now. Stephen Hawking underneath Walter White. They're just going to swap spots right behind the race leader. Crow actually might get a better finish unless he runs out of fuel, which he probably will. Coming to 20 to go this time by, and Stephen Hawking's gonna get one of his 3 laps back. Walter White gonna try and get his single lap back. So he's gonna dive it under coming out of turn 2. And now, no lapped cars between the 88 and the 25. Except Marco Polo really wants to change that, I see. Really. 3rd, 4th, 5th strung out. Your next battle on track is for 7th because Crow is slow. A bunch of the Rush Fender drivers right up here. Mark Martin's gonna fall out of the top 10. Harrison Ford's in there. Bob Ross is in 12th. Meanwhile, yes, Marco Polo did somebody else drop from the race or something? Burt Reynolds might be a new one. There is somebody on pit load. That's not what I wanted. Yeah. Burt Reynolds, there's problems with the 2 car or something. I would say it's problems, judging by how long he's been sitting on pit road. Something up with the crew on the car of the 2. Something up. Interesting. Geddy Lee up to 24th. Harrison Ford in the 8th is Bob Ross is going to get in the 10th. Jeez, these cars look really slow. There's now 14 laps to go. And Burt Reynolds is out of the race with a valve problem. The 16 of Marco Polo trying to get back on the lead lap. Oh, the 17 is 5 laps down. Duh. Crow is going to come down almost earlier than expected. Unscheduled stop for him, perhaps? Or slightly. Perhaps he's just not getting the fuel mileage. It's probably what's up. Should be very interesting to see what happens. I don't think he's going to be in position to win. 12 laps to go. The way Hank Hill's been driving, I don't know. It's going to be mighty close. It's the other battle we're watching. The points battle between Bob Ross and Harrison Ford. Donald Fagen comes down. That's earlier than anybody would have expected. That's big. Anyway, yeah, the gap has definitely been fluctuating. Looked like Hank Hill was closing in, but then Kathy Bates just pulled it out again. As there's 10 to go, 9 this time by. I think Crow might be able to win this. Should everyone pit? It's gonna be fuel mileage somehow. Unless they can make it. Maybe they're only pitting because of their tires. We're gonna see what the case is. Only to look at Crow. And he's one of those slower drivers in the entire field. 7 to go. Oh, aggressive this one is. Someone else smoking now down pit road. Ann Wilson. Wow, the attrition rate. Hank Hill is out. The attrition level this race is crazy. Bob Ross by. Now only one spot between him and Harrison Ford. There's just a huge gaggle right there. Oh, and this is right in front of the race leader. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Hank Hill was the closest competitor, though. 5 to go. It's a 3-second lead. 3.5 now over Casper the Friendly Ghost. Ian Anderson started on pole's going to fall to the bottom half of the field when all is said and done. Four laps to go now. No one else down pit road yet. Will we see any takers right at the end of the race? It's actually somewhat possible. I don't think there's going to be many. 3 to go. Nothing yet. Nothing more. Lap car sandwich here. As Al Roker's gonna get one of his 5 laps back. Now it's gonna matter. 2 laps remain. Now she's low but not too low. We'll come around for the white flag. Oops. Round turn 2. Down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. She's gonna Kathy Bates gonna bypass pit road, come out of turn 4 and win the Pet Rock 400. Ford and Ross neck and neck. Everybody pit. They made me worried. Because of when they pitted the second time compared to when they pitted the first time. Wow. Ian Anderson's going to fall 30th. There's your standings. Drivers dropping by the wayside towards the end of the race. Crazy circumstances. Bates on cruise control picks up her third career win. Next time out is Martinsville, the Spam 500. That should sure be a fun one. 4 races to go after this one. Decide a champion. Geddy Lee actually got up to 20th, but not going to cut it against Ford and Ross's top 10s. We'll see you next time.